First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you could never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next. You found us at postwrestling.com, maybe in your Spotify, your Apple Podcasts, or maybe you're listening to us
live on youtube.com/postwrestling. Hello, YouTube room. How are you doing?
Hello, all the YouTubers, all the postmarks, all the NXT friends. Worldwide friends. It's Tuesday night, June 2nd. Summer is here. Ladies and gentlemen, summer is here. It's June 2nd. We're going to talk about some WWE NXT and a whole lot more. And that's what we do here on Tuesday nights. We talk about some NXT, and we'll always be your NXT friends. How's everyone doing
Absolutely.
tonight? How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's little tired. Was working earlier, and it's been nice and hot here, but I'm good. I'm in good spirits. Yourself?
Yeah, the weather finally turning into summer mode here in the 6. In Toronto, it's really nice when you visit in the summertime, spring till fall. Then we get the winter and it sucks and everything. But once it hits this kind of thing, everyone's like, everything's back blast, full on deck. Like, people are out, there's street parties, there's people playing music in the park. Like, you know, there's just the life comes back into the city. So it's great to see that. And I'm sure it's like that in some of the other, like New York, right? Like once it turns summer, people start to just pop off. And I know they got the Knicks, go Knicks, all the New Yorkers out there. So I don't know. It's summertime in the city is always a fun time. I had today off, so I was able to just spend the time going out, catching up with some buds. And we were out the other night on Sunday. Shout out longtime listener Brian from Kenora. He's been listening to us since we started, but listening to me and the law and everything for so many years. And he was in town, so we got to meet up with listeners. We're always friendly. See, we don't bite. Don't be shy. We're very fun, and we live the gimmick, as Brian learned on Sunday night.
Yeah, it was awesome meeting Brian. Lovely guy. We had a lot of fun. We played some pool, had some drinks. It was a good time.
We're in our pool mode lately.
We're in a pool mode? Yeah, not swimming pool, but billiards.
Soon I'll be in pool mode too. But we've been going around playing some billiards. We played some in New York when we were there, and they opened a new place like right near my house, so I do want to try it, but it's not as divey like City Pool, which is where we've been hitting up lately. So, you know, we love our dive bars. And going to like a professional, just a pool billiards room place, I'm like, no, I want to be able to put the Poisonrana sticker in the washroom. That's the places I like to go to.
You got to try and beat me one of these days as well.
I've beat you in the past. It's just been like the last 3 times.
When you teamed with your girlfriend, you beat me. Yeah,
I've beaten you before. We've played many years ago.
Not in 2026.
Not in 2026. All right, I'll beat you next time. I'll lock in.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll lock in next time. We had Buffalo Caleb playing on my team. He was no help either, but no, I'll beat you next time. It's all a hustle. I'm just hustling you because one day we'll play for money and then I'll just snipe you.
Oh, is that
that's
it?
what's going to happen. Yeah, that's
luring me into a false sense of security.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. There
we will get into some NXT. We are your NXT friends, Braden and Davie. But if you don't know us, search Poison Rana Pod in your YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Instagram, whatever it is you use. Go and search Poison Rana Podcast and give us a follow and check out all the other stuff that we have going on. We've been very active on the social media lately. So if you use anything like your Facebook, Insta, even TikTok, go search us and give us a follow. All the little likes and follows go a long way. Poisonrana.ca for links of everything else that we do, because we don't just talk about NXT. We do here at Post Wrestling on Tuesdays, but just on Sunday, we did a huge show talking about WWE Clash in Italy. Plus, we talked about the AAA Mask v Mask Noches de los Grandes, as my spell check still says Nachos de los Grandes, which sound pretty nice, to be honest, right now. But yeah, we had a big show talking about both the Clash in Italy and the AAA show with the epic El Grande versus El Grande Mask v Mask. And I mean, listen to us talk about it, but we were raving about that match of the year contender easily, and one of the best things WWE has produced, and it's WWE AAA, which is just crazy. But it felt like the old days where the WWE pay-per-view would suck, and then the NXT takeover would just be amazing. And that's kind of how it felt with watching the AAA Grande show this weekend. So yeah, I can't praise that match enough, and I think that's going to be a hard one to top this year, with just the story going into it, the stuff going on with Ludwig and all that. So yeah, this one felt like, I said it, epic. It felt that way, and I'm still buzzing from watching it. And I'm seeing it getting a lot of love online the last few days, and it deserves it.
Absolutely. Yeah, really loved that match. I'm very interested to see what's next for Chad Gable, because he's fantastic. And you know, there was that build to him potentially winning the IC title a few years ago with, you know, the feud with Gunther that ended up leading to him just turning heel and not winning that title. So I'd really like to see some real effort made to really elevate Chad Gable now after this story, after this run as El Grande Americano, and putting on match of his career on Saturday night.
Honestly, yeah, like it's got to be up there as one of the best things in a while. Like, just as something that has the WWE umbrella over it, that has to be one of the, like, I'd say it cleared. And WrestleMania Night 2 was pretty fun, and it had that epic match of finally seeing Roman and Punk versus each other one-on-one, but this match like clears that one, and that's the big strong WWE match of the year, I would say, as well. So and even some of the AEW matches this year, like this one just really, like, some great story and stuff. So it's June, but we've been spoiled with some fantastic wrestling across the board, whether you're watching all the other stuff going on. What sucks is it's summertime, like I said, and like I wanted to watch more of the Super Juniors, but then it's nice out and I can wear shorts. I'm like, well, I've been inside for too long. Let me out. We outside now. So like, I've been watching some more of the clips of especially Jun Kasai just spiking people in the head and everything. But we spent a lot of time watching some wrestling this weekend. So here are our thoughts on Clash in Italy and the Mask v Mask match from this past Sunday. But that show is on our free feed. We do tons of other shows. We'll be back this Sunday, and we'll talk about some AEW Dynamite, some SmackDown, I'm sure, some things going on in the world of WWE behind the scenes, and who knows what. But you bringing up a good point about Chad Gable. Like, would love to see WWE use him. Like I said, I think this is one of the best matches they put on. You would hope they can capitalize off this momentum on both sides. I think you're going to see El Grande, the one and only El Grande Americano, go after it's Dom for the AAA Mega Championship. I think that's the route at Triple Mania. So like that's easily the place you have him beat Dom for that.
Strap him up.
But Chad, like, use him on the main roster. I think it would get him. Maybe he's even babyface him, right? Like after this.
Oh, I'd say after the speech at AAA, he's a babyface now, and I think they didn't they show it on Raw last night. I think on Netflix, they kind of put it on at the end of the show or something.
Which tells me that the people running the show were like, "Yo, people need to watch this. If you haven't watched this, you need to watch this." And that's fucking great. That is exactly, like, that's how you know that match was a banger. So, I mean, if you're listening, you've probably watched it already, but yeah, some great stuff. Long live Americano Grande, the one and only now. That was great. And like, look at the stuff going down. Now you got WWE doing shows down in Mexico. You got AEW just announcing their Arena Mexico show in like August, I think. But WWE doing Triple Mania, one night in Vegas, one night in Mexico, and then a few of the WWE shows as well. Like lots going down in Mexico. That would be a sweet weekend. If you were to go to like all the wrestling, that would be insane. Going to like a Triple Mania, a Raw or a SmackDown, and then a like Arena Mexico, CMLL. That would be sweet. One day, that's on my bucket list. Arena Mexico. Yes. What if you had to pick though? Would you pick a Triple Mania after watching Saturday? You'd have high hopes and expectations.
Yeah, I'd absolutely like to do both. Like Arena Mexico, CMLL is definitely a bucket list thing for me. But going to a Triple Mania would be pretty fun. Like I'd have loved to have been at that show on Saturday. It looked like a great time. So yeah, I'd be definitely open to both.
We are making plans to go to AEW Redemption in somewhat our neck of the woods up here in the Great White North in Montreal. So any listeners who maybe are making their way, I'm sure it's going to be a lovely time in the summer in the city. So let us know, because maybe we'll do some sort of hangout or something. But I know that's a lot of time from now, but maybe some people are planning to make the trip. And we have some NXT PLEs to talk about as well that have been announced with tonight's episode. So the wrestling, it never stops. But this upcoming weekend finally feels like there's not a whole lot going on, right?
I've even got a Saturday off this weekend. So
wow.
I'm looking forward to, hopefully this weather stays and just having a lovely, relaxing, enjoyable weekend.
Nice. There you go. Well, I think, hey, it's Due West Fest. Dundas West Fest.
Oh, is that this weekend?
Hey, okay. Yeah. Hey, Saturday night's going to be insane downtown. So, which means, you know what? They should just shut down the highway and the thing. They seem to do that a lot. You know, we almost got stuck after Double or Nothing in Queens, but it seems to happen a lot here too. And with FIFA coming to the city, I wonder what craziness is going to happen. Yeah, I think we got swindled by FIFA. FIFA, you can FIFA off. I think I'm FIFA'd out with what's been going on with. Have you heard about FIFA in the city of Toronto?
Why are you complaining right now?
Okay,
what are you complaining about?
So FIFA do this huge bust of all these jerseys, this fake warehouse of fake jerseys yesterday, and they're talking like 300 million. Which, okay, is that 300 million in real jersey prices, or is that 300 million in fake jersey prices? That's quite the difference. So FIFA have FIFA police in Toronto now that are going after things like that, but they're also going into bars, and they're telling bars, hey, you thinking of streaming our events? Think twice. You better pay the fees. You want to play our games at your bars? That's not free, and it costs money. So they're spreading their ick all over Toronto, and I don't know, maybe they should just give the city some peace prize to maybe make everything go away. But I'm already the World Cup isn't even hit yet, and as a Torontonian, I'm like already like ugh. And they're complaining about how we haven't sold out all the tickets to these events, and it's like, sorry, I don't want to go see Scotland versus Haiti for $3,000, which is mental. So I'm sick of the FIFA already, but. Yeah.
Quit your fucking whining and get on with NXT. It comes once every 4 years. We've not had it here in our lifetime. Like, come on.
Don't care. Even the Portuguese soccer icon coming back to be like, oh, but I gotta win a World Cup. Nah, fuck off. Go play for Saudi, man. Go make your money elsewhere. I just don't see it hasn't done anything except they've come in and gotten rid of all the homeless people already. So I guess that's something positive they've done in this city. But yeah, there you go. There's my TED Talk. Sorry, I had to rant. But right. I'm
looking forward to it. So
you going to a game?
No, I'm not spending money to go to a game, but I'm looking forward to the tournament.
Oh, you gonna put it on at your bar?
Yeah, I'll be on at the bar. Of course.
Oh, I'm calling the cops, bro. I'm gonna tell FIFA.
Well, we have the license to play the TV channel. So it's
shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's using like FIFA branding and stuff. It was the same with the Jays, right? It's you can't be like advertising FIFA watch parties and whatever, but it's going to be on broadcast TV. So most bars have the license to play broadcast TV anyway. So That's not going to be the issue. But yeah, I believe it's like more branding and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That you have to be properly licensed with them to be able to do that.
And some bars pay it, and it's like it's like a few grand to just be like, hey, FIFA, look, World Cup, and like that's pretty crazy. But hey, that's what people want, and they want to watch the people kick the ball. Let's do it. But go sports. Let's talk about real sports. Professional wrestling. This is the only sports that are real. Sports entertainment. As we're talking about some NXT. And I mentioned we do tons of other shows. We're recording tomorrow another episode of Was Next. For any of you true NXT fans, we go back and go through the old black and gold era of NXT. We are currently in the summer of 2014. So we'll be looking at an episode. I forget where we are, but it's July something in 2014. So
July 24th, if my memory serves correctly. Yes.
Nice. Yeah, we will be talking about Tyson Kidd turning heel, Sami Zayn feud, the BFFs, Charlotte's the women's champ, Enzo and Cass are back together. There's a whole lot going on. So anyone who loves NXT, Was Next is a great show. Check out our Patreon. We do tons of other wrestling and movie reviews and so forth. But NXT, we've done so many episodes of Was Next where we have started from the beginning in the Full Sail era of NXT. So follow along with us if you want to go back and revisit the black and gold. But today we're talking about what color are we at? We've had black and gold a few times. We've had black and yellow. We've had the silver.
Silver, aren't we?
Silver, right?
Gray, silver.
Okay.
It's kind of bland. I miss the colors.
It's a new era. Well, we're here today to talk about the silver era of NXT.
Yes. NXT from June 2nd, 2026, live from the Performance Center. And we kick things off right away with Zaria taking on Lizzy Rain. And this is Zaria fresh off her win against Soul, and then Lizzy's had a lot of momentum recently as well. We get a awkward Hurricane Rana early from Lizzy, followed by a chop as she's trying her make it rain chops. But this just seems to anger Zaria, Zaria pulls a lot of faces. She's pulling a lot of big, moody faces in this match. Lizzy eventually gets her make it rain chops in, and Zaria then, as Lizzy's kind of holding onto the bottom rope, Zaria lifts her up from the feet, slamming her down against the mat. And from this point onwards, Lizzy is continuing to sell the back. This is when Tate and Paxley comes out to watch the match and joins commentary. And this makes Zaria pull another angry face as she looks furious that the North American champion is out there. We then get a huge right hand from Zaria, knocking Lizzy off the turnbuckle to the floor, followed by a backbreaker as Zaria continues to work on the back of Rain. She holds her up in the corner in a chokehold, very sort of Brody King-esque, like the dangling choke. Tatum is then on commentary bringing up Shiloh and his quest to be Mr. NXT, and that he always had a dream of becoming a circus clown, and next week he'll be one step closer to his dream. Lizzy comes back with some punches in the corner, followed by another Rana, and then runs right into a spear from Zaria, but Zaria isn't able to capitalize. Lizzy then hits a springboard back elbow and a roll-up for a 2 count. Zaria comes back with the high knee, followed by a discus lariat, goes for another lariat, but Lizzy hits like the Matrix escape, followed by a cutter and a Samoan drop, but only a 2 count. Lizzy goes for a springboard back elbow again, but this time gets caught with a German suplex from Zaria, followed by the spear and the F5 for the win.
The zone of destruction, is that what they're trying to call the F5 now? Even though they have just said it's an F5, but Vic has called it that a few times. I'm wondering if she's trying She's trying it out. There's some cool stuff in this. Lizzy shows off some flashy wrestling, like the jumping tornado DDT off the ropes, looking nice. The jumping running cutter was really cool. And then whatever she was trying to attempt when she jumped, and then Zaria turned it into that like flying German towards the end. I thought they kind of had some good chemistry. I knew this needed to be Zaria just like clearing her to get towards the Tatum feud, and it did just that. I think it did exactly what it needed to be, but didn't go beyond maybe expectations of this match. Like I didn't hate this, but it was a match that was here.
Yeah, I'm still just not sold with Zaria at all. And she's been there long enough now. Like, I don't think her big power moves look devastating enough. I find her acting quite over the top. Like, there was a lot of mean mugging in this match. And I didn't particularly like this matchup for Lizzy at this point, where she's still pretty new and building up some momentum. And as you said, you kind of needed to put Zaria over in this match. So... Yeah. It kind of derailed the momentum a little bit that we've seen with Lizzy, and I'm just not sure if Zaria is it, to be honest. I haven't really enjoyed much of her work. I think the Sol Ruka's like partnership, I think was way too early, and it's like we're finally getting her as this beast monster, but I don't really think she's wrestling too much like it. So I wasn't particularly into this match personally.
I feel like if you're trying to get Lizzy over, okay, you've been focusing her on TV a lot, which is great, but she's been losing quite a lot, so much. But I mean, it's only been a few matches, but like, yeah, I don't want to write Zaria off like that, but I can understand why maybe she's not everyone's cup of tea. And I think if you were to go this destroyer gimmick, then like you shouldn't be going 50-50 with this newbie. You should be like crushing them right away and making a statement. And I think they might go with her to win the North American title from Tatum, and that's probably the right move, even though like it's like you have to go in and see what she can do. But I know what you mean. Like she should be exciting because she should be this monster because her gimmick is she throwing people around, but she's not doing it enough. Really. And the F5 is cool, but it is a little rinse repeat. Like Brock, we see him do it still. I saw him do it 7 times. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah. And like everyone's hitting a spear these days.
And Germans and spears.
Everyone
Yeah.
hits a spear.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything particularly unique about her beyond she wears like Road Warrior makeup, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
After the match, Zaria goes for another F5 where Tatum stops her and says, enough, I'll grant you the match next week. Tatum versus Zaria for the North American Championship. You think Zaria wins it next week, or do you see this maybe extending through to the Great American Bash?
Oh, true. Right. Yeah. I guess we should maybe do something where the title doesn't change hand. We get like a mess finish and it goes to that show. Yeah, that would make more sense. Maybe add a gimmick. Tatum's dollhouse match or whatever, as we've seen. But like Tatum, we've flopped around with this title and everything, and then the other title when she was champion was a quick run as well. Like she kind of like she shouldn't lose the title again, but at the same time, Zaria, I don't know. Both.
It's whether
I think Tatum's more interesting, I would say, but. I don't know.
I could see her. I think Zaria needs to win this title at some point, whether it's next week or at the PLE. But I could see Tatum after dropping it. Maybe I envision Kalani winning the championship off of Lola, and maybe Tatum could be a challenger for her down the line while you put off kind of the eventual crowning of Kendall, maybe.
Because then also Tatum's already been women's champ, right? Like,
yeah,
should we just move her up?
Yeah,
in a
probably.
Bit? Like I don't know. Yeah.
We see backstage Dorian Van Dukes, Sean Legacy, and Myles and Tavion. Myles and Tavion are tagging later tonight against DarkState. And Tavion's telling Van Dukes and Legacy, hey, maybe you should be a tag team. Try that out. It worked for us back in the day. And Van Dukes is wearing a nice retro Bash at the Beach t-shirt with Dennis Rodman on it. And Myles then says, okay, well, I have a title to defend. And Tavion is still kind of showing his jealousy there towards Myles. This is when we see the Culling walk in behind them. And it appears Nico and Spears aren't on the same page. Nico now seems to be the one kind of giving the orders on how this team will work. And Spearsy is kind of looking a little scared. Izzy tells them that she's putting her chase for the women's title on the back burner to focus getting the Culling back on track. But it's quite interesting now that it's like Spears who's the one following behind the other two, where it used to be him leading them.
Yeah, she makes a reference and then like gives him the nasty look, like a dirty look, like we have to figure this out, and then walks off. And then they kind of leave him, and he has a few looks there that, I mean, we've been calling this for a little while, where we do think this group is maybe kicking him out or disbanding or something, but it's NXT. They've done storylines like this for years with certain feuds and people, but I do think I think it's time to go. NXT doesn't need the chairman. He can be a great like coach, which I'm sure he does teach people a lot of things or whatever, but I think this character time is up with the Culling. Culling has been some of my least favorite stuff. So on TV every Tuesday. So, I'd say out of all of them, Nico Vance actually might be the one that I'm like, he could benefit from not being in this thing.
I agree, and especially after the match later, like I'm quite enjoying Nico, and I'd like to see him go out on his own a bit more.
Yeah.
We then get the entrance for DarkState as they're about to face Myles and Tavion. I quite enjoyed the like Titantron they have, which has all of their different, the masks they wear. It's now got a big red X through Saquon Sugar's one. And, well, Saquon shows up attacking Cutler James with a steel pipe, and the match is off for now.
Well, okay. Well, it didn't look like a steel pipe. It looked like a baseball bat. And last week, what did I say? He looked like Sting hanging up there on top of that truck in the darkness. And now here he is attacking them. So he's basically NXT Sting now. Tony D kind of moved away from that since he's won the NXT title. Sugars is going to pick that right back up, and he's going to get revenge, looking for revenge on the DarkState guys. I thought this was NXT, and whenever this happens, the match is just thrown out, like in the last few weeks. But here, Mr. Stone is like, nah, it's fine. We can do it. Just do it later. It's like, okay.
I can't remember what it was, but they did that the other week as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Where he's like, I've got to move the show order around now. Chaos. You're ready for a match? All right, go out there.
Yeah.
So we go to our next match. It's OTM taking on the Culling. And as I mentioned, the Culling's entrance, it's now like Izzy out in the front, followed by Nico, and then Spears, who's looking scared. He's looking nervous behind them. And during their entrance, OTM jump them, and this starts the match. There's Bronco, who hits a big backbreaker to Spears. He then goes to like drive the leg over the back of Spears' neck in the ropes, but Nico pulls Spears out of the ring to make the save. Nico then comes in with a diving headbutt off the top rope for a 2 count and some big elbow strikes. I think Nico's strikes look really good. He's got a great like aggression about him, and sometimes you see these people trying to do these devastating elbows, and then when they actually land them in, they look kind of weak. And I thought his stuff looked pretty good here. His
headbutts, especially, like he does diving headbutts, jumping ones. Like, they always look good.
Lucian then hits like a final cut leg drop jawbreaker combo to both Nico and Spears, followed by the float over knee strike to Vance, but he kicks out. And then Spears, like Nico kicks out on like 2.99 and gives Spears a look for not breaking up the pinfall. And Spears is like, I'm sorry, I was just a little late. Nico hits essentially the like Will Ospreay hidden blade to the face. Looked awesome, like this big like flying forearm strike to the face. Followed by the power slam neck breaker double team from the Culling. It now appears that Spears is busted open. He's bleeding.
I couldn't figure out, was it his own move or maybe like a mishap that happened? Because I didn't notice it until he hit their own offensive move, and I was like, "Whoa, where did that come from?" And it's like, it's somehow like a drip of blood happened to like go from under his nose, and then somehow just enough to like go all over his body a little bit. Like it takes just a little bit of blood, and it looked sick. Actually, it looked good.
Vance is on the apron, and Lucien shoves Spears into Vance, and Spears kind of hold up shoulders like, "Oh, I'm sorry again." Price then super kicks Vance off the apron, and OTM hit their finisher. The how would you describe this? The
double angle slam.
Yeah, kind of to
Scott drop kind of thing.
Yeah, they hit this on Spears for the win, and afterwards, Izzy and Vance seem pissed as they're just staring daggers at Sean Spears, who's like, I'm sorry. Who messed up once again.
Yeah, the visual of him just like with some blood on him on the ground, all defeated, and they're looking down, just disappointed. So now the students have turned the table on the teacher here, on the sensei of the culling. And, you know, it's true what they say. There is pain bringing the truth to light, but at least it will set you free. And I think that's what we need to do with the chairman.
Might set him free. Yeah.
Can we or before we kick him out and he just goes and does training or put him on the main roster, I don't know, whatever. Can we just please they kick out Sean Spears, right? But Ty Dillinger returns and we get to hear that theme song one more time, and we get to hear the tens one more time before they have Nico Vance just crush him, and that's what takes Nico to the next level. Can we do that instead?
Sure, absolutely. I agree. I want to hear that song again. I thought Nico looked pretty good in this match. I thought he really stood out. I'm starting to warm to OTM as well. I think they've stepped up. I think that the thing they had the other week with their little brother, little JJ, I think actually helped make these guys seem a bit more likable, and I think they're starting to come together. I think Lucien Price especially looked pretty good in this match, but I'm with you. I'm kind of just over this Culling story and pull the trigger on it already and kick Spears to the curb.
I think Nico has something. Like, I think if they were to give him a better character or a group or a partner, or I don't know what, but something else that could be the new GPS or whatever Booker T calls Sean Spears. Yeah. Like, I think he is decent enough that's like, okay, wait, we can explore this and see. And I mean, if that's the case, then maybe this group was a success all along. Izzy has been a champion in some way, shape, or form, so it has been somewhat of a success. It's just, it has been one of my least favorite. Like, what even are you guys? And why do all your button-up shirts don't have sleeves? And it's like, what is your gimmick? The truth will set me free? Okay, all right. So I think it's time to cut with the culling. And OTM, like, what's Lil JJ's situation? Can we get him on TV? Like, because Vic Joseph for the first time was like, hey, now we know OTM are not just fighting for themselves. They're fighting for people back home. And it's like, oh, so you're referencing Lil JJ. So the people need Lil JJ.
We need Lil JJ back.
Yeah. Honestly, it could probably really help them out. If Vanity Project have Micah and then you get Lil JJ and you get that showdown, that could be fucking money right there.
We get the announcement that Great American Bash will be taking place June 28th live on the CW, the first PLE to be broadcast on the CW. This will be going head-to-head with Forbidden Door.
Yes, Sunday, June 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So this is the first of the new deal that they cut with the CW, where this will be on broadcast TV, like on the CW. It's going to be on a Sunday night. So, I mean, this is good for them. We were talking about how it looked like they didn't have a home for these specials, and maybe they weren't sure what was going on with NXT. I think this is the total right move for them to do these TV specials. I think the unfortunate part is it will make some fans choose that night what they want to watch. And obviously, I'm going to choose TNA on the same day. Like,
oh, shit, there's 3 shows, aren't there? I completely forgot about that.
I think even TNA have maybe forgotten about that too, so don't feel bad. They have moved their show, however, to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can watch that show and then watch the WWE or the AEWs if you choose. But yeah, I don't necessarily like when this has happened. I feel like this way. Okay, let's look at when was the last time they did this where you had to have. Did you have YouTube, or when they've done the head-to-head things with AEW? I'd say AEW didn't necessarily get to. They were kind of unfazed. I think the Goldberg thing was All In or something. But this one's different. This is on TV. This has a lot of free people will watch. Like, this is free for people if you have cable TV. So I actually think this is a smart move from them, even though I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not going to watch this show on the Sunday. I have my pick. But like, hey, you're going to get a lot more people watching this. And it's not just a Tuesday night special. It's like, this is a premium live event. And like, maybe that attracts new people to watch it, and people who might not usually watch it if you have cable, or there's kids who live at home who parents got cable. Like, I think it's a smarter move to do it this way. Whether or not the CW thing is good or not for people, like, I think it's a good thing. But I'm a Canadian watching this with Netflix up top, so I don't know. But what do you think?
I would imagine as well. I don't necessarily think this is one of the times where it's down to deliberately trying to counter program.
Right.
Looking at. Well, I'm thinking it's more they want to get a pay-per-view in this month, but they are against the World Cup, and June 28th happens to be a day that doesn't have any evening games. Okay. Because it's the beginning of the second round. Right. So I imagine like that's probably why TNA, AEW, and WWE all picked this date, because if you go any later, you're really deep in the tournament. And then if you go any earlier, you're going right up against World Cup games, which probably this is the smarter move to do it on this date. But yeah, so I'll give the benefit of the doubt this time round and say I don't necessarily think this is a deliberate counter-programming thing, because we have seen it's hurt NXT in the past when they've gone against them. But as you said, this being on actual TV rather than a streaming app, maybe that will help them.
I would predict this maybe gets people to be like, well, if I watch this on TV, it's free for me and I can watch the pay-per-view, I don't know, later or another day or whatever. So I don't know. It sucks because I know that we wanted to get the boys together and do a little pay-per-view hang, because the last few pay-per-views, me and you have been at them, and our friends in Toronto, we like to hang out. So I don't know. I think I'm calling audible and saying I genuinely would probably want to watch and enjoy Forbidden Door and watch NXT second, if that's the case. So that's still a little whiles away. We got a few weeks to decide and stuff, but depending on work schedules and stuff, maybe we'll try to go live on the Monday after and try. But no promises. Like you said, the World Cup will be going on. Things could be crazy and whatnot. But follow the space as always. We will do coverage of it in some way, shape, or form. But I know John Away will be doing a Forbidden Door post show right here at Post Wrestling, so follow along for that. But I think this is a good thing for NXT. Put it on TV, get some new eyes to it. Hopefully it's decent enough ratings that CW continue and do more. I know they signed the deal, but I think it's a smart move, and it feels like it's been a while. We had the makeshift WrestleMania pay-per-view, the Stand and Deliver one. I think this is like a step in the right direction for NXT, and hopefully they bulk it up, build it up, make it feel good. So yeah, PLEs are back.
We see where are we up to here? I lost my place. EK Prosper and Tate Wilder are backstage, and EK Prosper he's now the old veteran of the locker room, talking to this kid, Tate Wilder, saying, hey, you need to pick your moments out there. You need to think smarter, not faster. Wilder says, well, there's a lot of people here. If I got to get noticed, I've got to take my chances. He's like, yeah, I get it, but just try and slow down. And this is when Kam Hendrix walks in, who's got his championship match tonight against Tony D'Angelo. And he calls Tate reckless and says, look, we both started out here around the same time, and I beat 2 champions in one night, and I'm now facing the champ tonight. And what have you done? And Kam then looks to EK and says, and it's a big day for you as well. And Prosper's like, why is that? And he goes, because you can tell your grandkids you were in the same building the day Kam Hendrix won the title. And this then, I thought this line was pretty good. EK Prosper's like, yeah, get out of here. But this takes us to our match. Tate Wilder versus Jackson Drake. And we see some wrist locks from Wilder here, where Jackson is flipping out of it and kind of mocks him, doing a little wiggling of his hips and posing, which winds up Wilder, who hits a big chop to the chest of Drake. There's then a sling blade from Wilder. Drake goes to the outside to regroup with the Vanity Project, and Wilder hits a somersault off the ring steps, taking out Baylor and Smokes. Drake then hits a spear through the ropes to the floor, like the kind of Big E style here.
Man, I don't understand this. Like, this one, he spears you onto the apron so that the opponent lands on the apron, but then he bails to the floor. Whereas Big E's is like, we don't know where we're going to go. Yeah, we're all going. So I'd say this one is safer in a weird, strange way, but still an insane thing to do.
It's a weird visual, because then you see Drake's the one hitting the move, and then he's lying on the mat on the outside, and Wilder is in the ring. I'll be completely honest. I think Jackson Drake has got to be maybe my favorite wrestler on NXT, like to watch. He's been very good, and I can't wait to see where his career goes in WWE. Least favorite move is this running spear to the apron, because you're right. Even Vic and Booker are like, hey, why did he do that? Because like he's on the floor and Tate's just chilling on the apron now. But it looked good when Biggie used to do it. Like,
scary, maybe tweak it a bit and turn it into something a little different, which I think he did already, but still, yeah.
Drake then goes up top to hit the 450. Wilder moves out the way, but Drake rolls through, but gets hit with a TKO from Wilder. Only a 2 count.
Well, you know why he hit the TKO, right? I'm just going to assume because his name is Wilder.
Right.
And he's a wild man.
Okay.
Who also used to hit the TKO. Right? Mark Marrow?
Oh, right. Maybe.
So maybe that's why. Because I don't know if you know, he's a wild man.
He's wild.
It's Tate Wilder.
Wilder goes up top, hits a twisting splash for a 2 count.
The UFO.
Not quite as impressive as Kevin Knight, but essentially the same move. Vanity Project get involved again. Wilder's taking them all out, doing backdrops to the floor. Goes to hit a Rana off the apron to Smokes, but Smokes moves out the way, and Micah catches him, slams him against the ring post as the referee's distracted, rolls him into the ring, and Jackson Drake hits the 450 splash for the win.
Yeah, like this guy is super impressive in some of the stuff he can do in the ring. That 450, he technically like did 2 of them in this match, and he looks like it's effortless to do that. But I like Tate Wilder too. Like his gimmick is he's the wild man, but he kind of reminds me, like he dresses like a Jeff Hardy kind of thing. It's not normal wrestling gear. He's wearing Vans and doing some pretty impressive. I don't know if I've ever seen someone in Vans do a sling blade, but he pulls it off somehow. And I think he's pretty interesting when he wrestles. So I kind of want to see where this guy goes and advances. I don't think the wild man, Daredevil character has gotten far for anyone who's attempted that, other than maybe Jeff Hardy. But like, he seems to be kind of decent in the ring. So I kind of do want to see more from this guy. And he has been impressive in the last few weeks, even though he still does remind me of Hot Young Briley. Some was next ball knowledge for you. But again, I just love the story here of like Jackson Drake and the Vanity Project. These 3 young guys on NXT and Micah, the addition here has been great. Her shirt in the entrance, she comes out carrying Drake on her shoulders, and her shirt says, "I lift weights ... and men." Yeah, which is fantastic. So I like the pairing that she's the one who does all the dirty work and helps these guys win. So I like this unit so far, and I can't wait to kind of see where some of these characters go. Oh, I forgot that Wilder's theme starts with "Y'all ready for a wild ride?" Oh man, love that.
I don't think this match got the wildness from Wilder enough, to really hit the story they've been telling. Like the other week, the idea was, he wasn't making the tags, and he kept on going for moonsaults and things like that, which eventually cost him. I felt this felt more of just a standard match we see on NXT and didn't necessarily push that narrative forward, which they're trying to, because we get another backstage segment later. I am enjoying this story, though, that this guy, I think this is where losses can help. Like, that is his story. Wouldn't necessarily say it's a losing gimmick, but it is the fact that he's trying to get noticed, and that's what is costing him these matches. But yeah, could have done with a bit more wildness from Wilder, but agree with everything you said about Drake and Vanity Project.
And you know what? Like I just said earlier, like we've seen again, we go back and rewatch old NXT for our What's Next show, and we've been talking about the Dare Wolf, right? What's his name? Not Justin Roberts. No, Justin Gabriel. Justin Roberts. The Dare Wolf Justin Roberts would be a sick gimmick. No, but Justin Gabriel did the like, oh, I'm a daredevil kind of character. I think if you were to do that in 2026, like Tate Wilder, if you are this guy in real life, then next Tuesday, take the camera crew and Jeremy Borash and go skydiving. You know, like show me that you are a crazy guy, or win a match, I guess is probably what we need to do here. But I kind of like this guy so far on NXT, and Vanity Project continue to be my favorite. Their theme slaps too, actually. Their theme's a banger too.
We then go to Emily Agard is interviewing Robert Stone about the Great American Bash, and this is when Osiris Griffin walks in, and he's frustrated because Cutler James got taken out, and he wants his revenge on Saquon Sugars. When we hear the ghost of Jacob Marley, we hear the chains in the background, and Jasper Troy walks in with his big chains and starts winding up Osiris for being so worked up when he gets attacked from behind by Dion Lennox, hit in the back with a chair. The cameraman then gets taken out. We just hear Emily and Stone yelling to get medical, and the camera comes back and we see the cameraman is dead, and Jasper Troy's had like a bookcase dropped on him, rushing him, and Dion tells everyone that everybody's safe.
Yes, ain't nobody safe.
Yeah,
everybody is safe. Wow, I'm really shocked, to be honest. I cannot believe there's a bookshelf full of books in the Performance Center down in Florida. I'm actually pretty shocked about that, about seeing that. I was like, those can't be real. What kind of books you got there? What kind of books you got down in Florida there? Let me read those books. Let me see the covers of those books. This was fine. DarkState still doing the shtick even without Sugars is the right thing, because Sugars is going to pay them back, and we've already seen he's doing the attacks. But Jasper Troy is an interesting one. Like here they had him do I hate when people do this, especially in real life, but in wrestling. No one ever looks cool when you mock someone by doing the like, well, you said you want the match. Well, you said you want the match. Fucking like, just tell me you don't have the brain to go, tit for tat, like in a sparring of, talking and saying things. Instead, you got to go, man, I know what you are. And I'm like, dude, you're like 7 foot tall with your fucking chains. Why don't you just kick his ass instead? It drops the aura from anyone who does that. And I've seen Roman Reigns do that years ago. I've seen wrestlers do that in WWE, and it's a pet peeve of mine. So unfortunately, I think Jasper Troy's got to be a casualty from Osiris next week. I mean, he was here tonight, but yeah, Sugars and Jasper versus these two, I guess. They kind of quietly turned Troy babyface a little bit ago, but I don't really get what his character is. He's not being featured quite as much as he used to when he was like Speed Champion and all that. And even like the t-shirt he was wearing, wasn't it like a bright blue t-shirt? He just didn't look intimidating. And you bring up like the mocking of Osiris, the cool factor isn't really there with this guy, unfortunately. And like you've turned him babyface, but now he's not the like scary guy that he was trying to be before. He seems kind of lame.
Yeah. Lola Vice comes out and she says that last week she did exactly what she said she'd do, and that is knock out Izzy Dame. And whether it's in NXT or AAA, she is undeniable. And she didn't win this title out of luck. She envisioned it every night for 4 years, her name on these side plates. And she's never made excuses. She doesn't make excuses for herself, and she won't accept them from others. So she asks, who is next? This championship deserves women who step up to it, but whoever steps up will be embarrassed and knocked out. And this is when Kalani comes out and says, oh, does this mean it's finally time you're going to give me a chance for the championship? Because I can't be denied any longer. She goes, you may have made your name for yourself out of NXT in AAA. And when you came back as a champion from AAA. But this is what bothers me, because our stories aren't that different. Because when I went to TNA and won the Knockouts Championship, everyone turned on me. You kicked me out the locker room. And I've seen women come and go since then, getting opportunities when I don't. Well, I'm fed up and I'm demanding. I've tapped you out before. I've beaten Ren. I want a championship match. Lola then says, yes, you won the Knockouts Championship, but blink and you'd have missed it. And this month is my 1-year anniversary in AAA when Kendall Gray comes out with Ren Sinclair, who's still got her leg all taped up and on crutches. I don't know if you noticed Ren trying to get in the ring here, but it looked really awkward for her trying to climb into the ring. Kendall then says, you're not the only one who wants the NXT Championship. She brings up winning the Iron Survivor. She walked into the toughest match of her career and pinned both Kalani and Lola in that match. She looks at Lola and says, Mama, we have unfinished business, as they obviously had that, the draw not so long ago. Mm-hmm. But before I worry about that title, I have a written receipt for Kalani for what she did to my best friend. And Kalani says, me, you did that to your best friend. All I need is one shot, but Kendall, you can't win the big one. Lola then gets frustrated and just says, all right, next week, you two have a match, and the winner of that will go on to face me at the Great American Bash. And as Lola's walking out, Kalani grabs the title from her hand, and Lola accidentally spins round, elbowing Kendall in the face.
Don't you hate when that happens? When someone goes to steal something, so you do a spinning back fist to someone else? This is some classic wrestling stuff where it's like, come on, you accidentally swung and hit your finisher move on someone else?
The timing, I think, was slightly off here, because I think it was it meant to be like Kalani pulling the title, almost like ripcords her into this elbow?
That's what they tried to say, yeah.
Quite sure, but it did just look like this title was gone, and then, all right, I'm going to whack you in the face.
It should have been that Lola is like, yo, what are you doing? And then goes to hit it on her, and she ducks, and then she hits. But you're right. In viewing this, it looks like almost some ballerina spinning thing here.
You know those spinning things, like
Beyblade
tops that you climb up. It looked a little bit.
She was ripping Beyblades here, and we're supposed to believe that Lola got swung around so hard that her back fist connected with Kendall. I guess we can suspend our disbelief here, but I'm looking forward to the match, Kalani and Kendall Gray. Like, we've seen stuff.
Should be really good. Yeah.
Kendall's been on a bit of a run. Kalani is definitely a little bit of an ace up the sleeve here in the women's division in NXT. So I'm not quite sure where we go. Like, I think we've been saying with the story that's been like going on and off between Kalani and Lola, it would be good for Kalani to be the one to take it from Lola. But then you got to open that up to all these chasing baby faces, and maybe Lola still has some gas in this run to maybe defend against some of these other people. But you could eventually have Kendall be the one to take it from Kalani as well. But
I think that's the way you go, and I think Kalani wins this title. Whether we do, Schmoz finish and it's a triple threat at Great American Bash, which can prolong Lola's reign a little bit.
Just did that, right? Where Lola
we did that with JC Lola and Kendall, right? So I think it should be Kalani winning beating Kendall and winning this title at Great American Bash. And you can protect Kendall. It can be cheating or,
Ren.
We have the bit, we have the bit later where she's telling Ren I'm doing this on my own. Ren will probably cost her either inadvertently or...
You think it's all coming out where Ren's just finally had enough, and
does
Ren being a
Kalani?
heel? You think Ren's gonna join Kalani? Why would she?
I don't know. It's wrestling.
How can she make a funny pun out of Kalani Jordan's name? Ren. See, you can't. You can't.
Ren
Therefore,
Lani, yeah.
Ren Lani. Oh my god.
Or it's just, Ren as a babyface accidentally costs Kendall.
Right, yeah, okay.
Like trying to stop Kalani from cheating and it backfires or something.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I think it might be sad to see Lola lose the title so soon, but it kind of makes sense to have Kalani step up and be the champion. So I think we're in for some good wrestling next week. I love Kalani Jordan right now. I've been loving Kendall Gray especially. So and Kendall Gray tonight, invoking the spirit of Lita with her attire. Right,
I noticed that as well.
Right?
Yes.
Word to Lita.
We get an NXT spotlight where it's promoting that next week we're getting the Mr. NXT pageant. I'm so excited for this.
Are you hyped?
It's going to be fuck yeah. It's going to be judged on 3 rounds, one being attire, one being talent, and the other being public speaking. And we're seeing clips of Shiloh Hill dressed as a clown juggling Skittles, whilst Tristan Angels is in tighty
Speedo,
Jack Speedos,
Austin Powers, Mr.
Lots
England.
of very questionable poses from Mr. England right there. But are you excited for this Mr. NXT pageant?
Yeah, I like how one of these guys wore like a scary clown mask, but still Mr. England is the one that we're like, what's going on over here?
Yeah.
So this is next week, and we'll see what their talents, like the attire. I'm assuming Mr. England's going to be wearing one of these nice suits that he's showing off here. And Mr. NXT Shiloh Hill, he's going to be wearing that Bass Pro Shop suit with the fire that doesn't match but looks pretty fire together. What if your talent is public speaking? Then I guess they're screwed, right? But
true. Yeah. So we're getting. Yeah, he'll definitely be shearing some sheep next week, I imagine, right?
You think he's gonna live on TV?
Yeah,
you're gonna get this guy to shear a sheep?
He's got to.
If he does, he's the best. But I don't know if they'll do that on TV. You think Shiloh's talent's gonna be catching Skittles? What is?
Maybe juggling.
I mean, wait a second. If you're getting sheep shearing, then we need Shiloh to show off his raccoons.
He did mention the raccoons later,
right?
So maybe he juggles raccoons.
Oh, that'd be sick.
I'm sure Peter wouldn't be too happy with that.
But they could be like friendly juggling.
Yeah. As long as they're happy, as long as the raccoons like it, that's okay.
Remember our pet raccoon,
Ralph
and his family.
Wonder how he's doing.
When we were roommates, our old house. Old listeners know. Where we'd have the raccoons walk by. We'd even watch NXT in the backyard sometimes.
Yeah, it was lovely.
And these raccoons would walk by. Sometimes they'd fight. We never fed them, though, because we were scared that they would come back.
Yeah. We then see Shiloh and Tatum backstage, and Shiloh goes, I've been practicing this fashion thing. It's actually really easy. You just put clothes on and you wear them. Tatum says, I really want to be there for your pageant, but I'm not sure when my match is going to be. But maybe I'll go and ask Stone so I know. And if my match is first, I can watch your pageant later. So Shiloh goes. Tatum goes to find Stone when Zaria attacks her and hits the F5 on a flight case. And Shiloh runs back for help. Just medical, like running all over the place backstage tonight.
NXT is chaos. It's the word of the the year for NXT. Ever since, even think back when we had Young Rock, the Pebble, as the GM. It was chaotic, and maybe that's what drove her out of here.
Yeah.
But although I think Mr. Stone's got it under control, you just can't assume that
he's embracing the chaos.
Yeah, you don't know that someone's just going to attack Tatum like this, right? But maybe this causes something to happen next week where we do go towards a gimmick match between these two eventually, whether or not it's at the bash, but we shall see. But this is also where he brought up, I have raccoon business to attend to.
It's a good little out, isn't it? Like to get whenever you need to get him away to do these attacks. It's I got to look after my raccoons.
Need to see a man about a dog. I need to go tend to my raccoons. I mean, I have seen that he lives he's got raccoons. So I didn't know they're in Florida, but
you can't have them as pets, can you?
I don't know, man. I've seen him post videos hanging out with raccoons. I don't think he's using AI, so I don't know.
I'd love a pet raccoon. Raccoons are cute. I like raccoons.
Like, I knew some people that grew them from a baby, and like, you're not supposed to have them, but we do have a lot of them in Toronto. And after having them for like a year, one of them just freaked out on him and like scratched his face up and everything. And I remember him being like, well, I'm not doing that again. Yeah. And I was like, oh, so I guess you can't just have like a random wild animal at home. But I don't know. I recently went to the zoo, man. I want a monkey. How many podcasts do I gotta do until I get a fucking monkey?
A spider monkey?
Oh man, I don't know. There's these little gold ones that look like mini Ultimate Warriors. Those ones were sick. Macaws, I think. I don't know. Monkeys are sick.
It was one of the coolest things when I was in Vietnam, just seeing monkeys wild.
Yeah.
Like as close to you'd be to like a pigeon or a squirrel or something like that.
Wild monkeys are the best.
Crazy.
I want one, but yeah, maybe. I feel like Shiloh Hills in Florida, how far are they to like the Tiger King and all those kinds of people, right? There's a Florida man.
You could have seen him in that show, couldn't you?
Absolutely. Raccoon King, Shiloh Hill. Well, soon to be Mr. NXT next week, Shiloh Hill. But yeah.
Yes.
Shout out all animals here. Okay.
Yeah, love animals.
We may be up next on Tuesday nights, but we go by Poisonrana, which means poison frog, babies. We love our animals, right? All right. Word to your animals.
We go to our next match. Lexis King taking on Romeo Moreno with Noam Dar in his corner. And this is for the Speed Championship. So 5 minutes on the clock. And Lexis slaps Moreno immediately, which fires up Moreno, who leaps over him and attempts a roll up. There's a low German suplex from Moreno, and then a springboard drop kick for a 2 count. Another pinning combo for a 2 count. 1 minute is gone. Moreno then is climbing the ropes when Lexis drop kicks his leg, follows up with a double stomp to the chest. 2 minutes gone. Lexis then attempts a single leg Boston Crab, but Moreno manages to roll through on the mat into this beautiful, roll through straight into a vertical suplex. Looked very impressive. There's then a super kick followed by a twisting Death Valley driver for a 2 count for Romeo. And then he applies a crossface and transitions into the Rings of Saturn with 2 minutes left on the clock. Lexis rolls this submission back for a 2 count and then bails to the outside. But Romeo, knowing he's against the clock, climbs to the top and dives, taking out Birthright of, who is it here? It was Uriah and Stax on the outside. Goes for another springboard, but Lexis catches him this time with a single-legged Boston Crab in the middle of the ring. 1 minute left. Romeo eventually manages to counter this to a roll-up, misses a springboard moonsault, and this allows Lexis to hit him with the drive-by, followed by the coronation, and Lexis King retains with just under 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I'm really loving this Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? I think he's been pretty impressive with some of the wrestling that he can do, and he definitely stole this show. Like, he was the guy doing everything and made Lexis King look pretty good. Lexis did get some stuff in. He did that really nice stomp. He's trying the gimmick of fastest man alive, so I get that he's attempting to do some of the fast stuff that these speed people do. But I thought the story here was this Moreno guy. Like, the gimmick so far is he's young, he loved NXT UK, and he loves his new mate, Noam Dar, who was ringside for him. But then when he wrestles, like this is a under 5-minute match, and everything he did was pretty good. Those like suplex. It was, you said Death Valley driver, but it was almost like a arm trap fireman carry throw, and then he's doing these like rings of Saturn and stuff. So far so good. Lexis King, I feel, has been here for so long that, which is probably not even that long, but like he still feels like he wrestles the same way he's always wrestled. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful to him. I'm sure he's worked pretty hard to get where he is and stuff, but I feel like the wrestling from him always stays the same. He's never doing anything necessarily out of his comfort zone. I mentioned earlier he did that like stomp, but I don't know. He kind of comes across like he wrestles like The Miz, if that makes sense. Like he kind of wrestles safe, the WWE safe way. So maybe there is a spot for him down the line. But then you're facing this new guy, and Romeo is just doing all these crazy, flashy things. And I liked seeing him wrestle more than I did King. But yeah, this was fine. This was pretty fun.
Yeah, I think King is maybe like safe is the right word, but I think he's more comfortable in what he's doing. Like I think he looks a lot smoother. His stuff isn't particularly flashy or interesting, but I think he's looking a lot smoother than he did when he first came in. I thought he was actually his most interesting when he was the pseudo babyface run. I thought his wrestling was a little more interesting there. But yeah, Romeo had some cool stuff in this. And with this being the 5 minutes rather than the 3 minutes, you got more of a match here than some of the speed matches often get.
Like the story's got to be him and Noam Dar. The reason Noam Dar is involved is because Noam's eventually got to attack him, and then we get that match, right? Like it's probably where that story goes. We
see Natty and Jada Parker backstage, and Natty, they're kind of in the locker room. Hank and Tank are there. Nikita Lyons, Carmen Petrovic,
Wendy Chu.
Was Wendy there? Yeah. Some other newbies. And Natty says, I didn't know calling you soft would get you so worked up. And Jada goes, didn't work me up. And then I defeated your student last week. He says, you may have won, but your performance was mediocre. And I don't get your act. I see right through it. You can try and intimidate everyone else, but I see through it. You know that I know you're soft.
Damn.
And Natty walks off, and Hank and Tank are kind of doing the ooh pose. And
Hank is a bit of a dick here. Hank is like, yo, he can hear you, girl. Like he goes, oh wow. He does one of these like to cover, like, oh wow. If someone said that to me, I'd go cry all night or something like that. And it's like, man, she can hear you. Why are you being like that?
Carmen, then, who we haven't seen for months now, says her and Nikita are kind of laughing at Jada here and saying, maybe she shouldn't dish out what she can't take.
Ooh. You know what? I know you love Natalya. She's got to be one of your top fives. But I liked this. I didn't necessarily like Hank and Tank's thing after and whatever after, but I liked Natty kind of checking her like, yo, this is just a character, and I've been here so long that I know you're just playing a character. So like, fuck off with this shit. I kind of like it because for the first time, Jada's character was stunned. Yeah. So I'm kind of like, okay, you know what? Let me see where this goes. I know you're not the biggest Natty fan, but this was more interesting than some of the stuff. Jada's been copy paste for a long time, where she comes in, she's angry. Don't you tell me about this. And then like gets angry about everything. It's like, no, like finally she's doing a different side of her character. So maybe this can bring something else out of Jada.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I just can't buy Natalya. I just think she's a terrible actor. But I like the idea of the segment, if that makes sense. Like like I'm seeing through it. The bully kind of getting bullied here.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Giving a taste of her own medicine.
You did skip over briefly. There was Mason Rook, who was with Tony D. Finally, Mason Rook having a nice shirt on, not just like a black band tee or something, but basically saying, Tony, like, I know you're a good champ. And then I think it was Mr. Stone who said, don't interfere in the match. He's like, oh, don't interfere in the match tonight? Okay, I won't.
Yeah, a bit of a red herring here. I mean, he's somewhat interfered, I guess, didn't he?
Yeah,
but But yes, essentially setting up a number one contenders match next week between Naraku and Mason Rook.
Yes, next week.
Which gets confirmed later in the show. We then see Tate Wilder with EK Prosper. Prosper says, I don't want to say I told you so, but... And that's when Keanu Carver walks in and calls Wilder stupid and that he has a death wish. Wilder's like, yeah, well, I'm happy to run it back with you. And Keanu laughs at this. And Prosper says, yeah, well, Wilder has the right idea and someone needs to humble you. He's like, oh, and that person's going to be you? Keep acting stupid and watch what happens, bruh. So I believe we're probably getting EK Prosper versus Keanu Carver coming up soon.
That's an interesting matchup, considering EK has been doing some really impressive high-flying stuff, and Carver is about 2 to 3 times this dude's size. He could be a great base or throw this guy around. So I don't know. That kind of does... EK, I think, is one of the more impressive in-ring guys, but he's also maybe one of the smaller guys on the roster, whereas Carver is just a fucking unit. So that does kind of interest me to see the dynamic here of the classic big guy, little guy. But yeah, okay, I'm down for that.
We see Kendall and Ren in the trainer's room. They're both icing their jaw, icing their knee. And Kendall says, maybe Kalani is right. And I'm the reason why you got hurt. And Ren says, look, I'm not going to come ringside next week because I'll be in the way. And I don't want to get in your way. And then you end up resenting me. And Kendall's like, no, I want you there. Ren says, no, you need to face Kalani on your own. So, as we said earlier, watching wrestling, it probably means Ren will somehow get involved in this match.
She'll come out. The crutch will be involved. Who knows?
Yes. We go to our next match. Finally, are you ready? DarkState versus Myles Borne and Tavion Heights is happening. It was postponed earlier.
I was worried. I was pretty upset that this match was scrapped, but then it wasn't. So I'm happy about that.
So we see early miscommunication between Myles and Tavion, like when they're tagging each other, but then sort of in each other's way as they're trying to get in the ring, and Tavion's just giving these pissed off looks. They then get on the same page as they hit a double hip toss followed by a double drop kick to Dion. Osiris is tagged in and is just throwing Myles around. This is as we go into a commercial break, and it's just DarkState with quick tags dominating Myles and holding him off from getting the tag in. There's then a choke slam attempt, but Myles escapes and drop kicks and clotheslines Osiris to the floor. And as Tavion is checking on Myles, Dion just shoves him pretty hard to the floor. And then this pisses off Myles, who then leaps on them all. After the break, we see DarkState control and dominating Myles. Myles eventually makes the tag to Tavion, who comes in with some huge suplexes and gets Osiris up on his shoulders, dropping him, and then a big gut-wrench suplex to Osiris, which was very impressive considering the size. He goes for his belly-to-belly, but Dion grabs Osiris's leg to save him, and this allows them to hit the Doomsday device to Tavion. DarkState win.
Ain't nobody safe. Is it Are they allowed to call it the DarkState device? It's right there. They could definitely.
I guess.
At least they brought back the Doomsday device as a finisher.
Yes.
Because respect to the ultimate. He ate that one. Tavion definitely ate this one. And that one belly to belly, it wasn't quite the one that he was trying to do that was blocked, but he still managed to do one of those overhead throws on Osiris.
It. He did one on the floor to Dion, which looked great. It was more like a pop-up belly to belly, which looked really cool.
Still very impressive. Like, his suplexes are good. I'd say Tavion is not very exciting in everything else, but when he does throw some suplexes, they're pretty great to see.
I think this is the move in the right direction. I think the slight change in look, the change in demeanor, it's way more interesting than when he was doing the rah-rah USA gimmick last year.
I mean, that was for the Canada stuff, right? Like Ethan Page and stuff.
But it was so bland, you know.
But here, I don't know, his gear still reminds me of Zack Ryder or Nikos Rikos or whatever, but I still think he's going to turn heel again on Myles. Like that's inevitable, right? But I don't like DarkState as much. Like they're not my favorite group in NXT, and now that we don't have Sugars with them, I don't know really what's the shelf life going to be for these guys. But
after the match, Myles helps up Tavion, but Tavion doesn't want any of it, and he's pissed off and shoves Myles away. And we see Saquon Sugars in the crowd just staring down at DarkState.
With his baseball bat.
Yeah. We then get the rundown for next week. We're getting Tatum versus Zaria for the North American Championship. Kendall Gray versus Kalani Jordan, #1 contenders for the NXT Women's Championship. Naraku versus Mason Rook, #1 contenders for the Men's NXT Championship. And, of course, the main event, the Mr. NXT pageant.
Yeah, there's some good stuff looking forward to next week, right? We got 2 #1 contender matches, a title match, all things leading. Once you add, hey, we have Great American Bash, some of these stories, are better when we have something to look forward to, where it feels like it's been a while since the Stand and Deliver. So, good, a step in the right direction. Where would you see well, I guess we'll talk about Mason Rook in a sec, but yeah.
We go to our main event, Tony D'Angelo versus Kam Hendrix, and Kam jumps the bell like right away with a huge drop kick. It's his, what do they call it? The Showtime kick?
The Showtime kick?
Yes.
Nice.
Only a 2 count. He follows up with a DDT for a 2 count. Kam Hendrix just all over Tony early on in the match. We see Naraku wearing a nice suit in the crowd. They've
put him in the Naraku's in the cuck chair here watching. He's like, he keeps cutting over to him and he's making faces and he's like, hey, don't you beat Tony D'Angelo, you Kam Hendrix. I'm the one who's got to beat Tony. You're not beating him. So he's just standing there and it keeps cutting to him. It was pretty funny.
Tony makes a bit of a comeback. He goes for a choke slam, but Hendrix escapes to the floor. After the break, Kam is dominating still with multiple pin attempts. D'Angelo fires back with some punches and a series of German suplexes, followed by a huge spine buster, and then hits Forget About It, but Kam kicks out. Kam then goes for a dirty pin with his feet on the ropes, but the referee catches it. We then get the Showtime kick, followed by a sit-out powerbomb, but still only a 2 count. Tony then catches Kam with a powerbomb of his own for a 2, and then Kam on the outside goes for the steel chair, but Mason Rook puts his foot on it. He blocks him from using it, and then this causes that momentary distraction, allowing Tony to backdrop Hendrix onto the announce table, rolls him into the ring, and hits the dead to rights to retain the NXT Championship. And after the match, Naraku is the one to hand D'Angelo his title.
That was a huge dead to rights. So that's like the big one-handed choke slam spinebuster kind of move. This looked like the biggest one yet. Like that guy Cam's head, I hope he's okay. Looked like it bounced off that thing. I rewound that a few times. That was a great looking finish on this guy. Kam Hendrix, he's super new to me. I've only ever watched him in the NXT stuff that he's been featured, and think his introduction on NXT was he showed up attacking the champion, goading him into a match, wins the match. His character is basically doing the Jericho, I beat these 2 champions in the same night kind of thing. Has a title match in his first, so far he's pretty good. He's easy to hate. So
I'm enjoying him.
I
don't see him as a main eventer, but I do see him as a pretty solid mid-card act who's entertaining. I think his talking's been good.
Definitely.
I like his arrogance. Like he came across well backstage earlier, and I like doing the hot start to the match. The underdog just firing in there with like some real hope spots early on. I thought he looked good. So a good first impression these first couple of weeks, and this is another one of your LFG guys, right? Like with
I think he was impressive. I think he was pretty impressive, and I'm not saying he should be in the main he shouldn't be fighting for the main title in the next little while, but he could easily find a place here on this show. I think he's got his arrogance and his character down, and so far in some of this wrestling, okay, I'm not saying this is the most exciting match, and Tony D isn't the most exciting wrestler either, but I thought for the most part he got the heat on right away, and the crowd seemed to really react to him. So on the first few impressions, I'm liking the injection of the new blood in NXT. It does pay off, and you know, I wouldn't put him back in the world title picture with whatever we go to in the future, but maybe the North American title picture. Maybe like there's totally some other things that he can get into down the line, and I think he's all right. He's pretty decent from what we've seen so far. And then afterwards, you had Naraku hand Tony the belt because he was like, whoa, you can't lose this because I'm the one who's going to take it from you. And now they have said that next week it is an official number one contenders match as they go off the air. So Naraku versus Mason Rook next week. Winner faces Tony at Great American Bash. What do you think happens here?
I'll say the same I said about the women. Do we get a schmoz? And it's
I was just about to say, I know you said it earlier, but wouldn't it make sense for this one to be the triple threat with the two new people?
This makes more sense than the women's. If not, I think at this point, maybe Naraku to face Tony over Mason Rook. That's just a gut feeling. But yeah, I kind of think this might make more sense, it being a three-way.
It might make more sense, and it might be a bit more interesting.
Yeah. Having
Tony now, who's been the Grand Slam champion, the NXT, mainstay, facing these two newer competitors. And I think that'd make for maybe a bit more of an interesting matchup as well. So personally, I think that's the right move to go for. But if you're doing that, then what about the Lola thing? Just Kalani one-on-one beats Lola? I think
so, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the route to go. So that's probably what's going to happen next week. But Naraku, Mason Rook, our main event next week on NXT. But you know what? Decent episode. It wasn't anything that necessarily blew me away or I was like, wow, I loved that. But there was still some story progressions. Adding Great American Bash, like I said, makes it easier to be like, hey, we're heading towards things, title matches and things that mean things and stuff. So I like the direction, at least where we're going. And plus, a lot of these new characters, Kam Hendrix, Mason Rook, Tate Wilder, all these new people that they've been adding into TV, I've been interested in. And that's something that they didn't do for a long time on NXT, especially this men's division. So didn't love this episode, but still they still have my attention. And trust me, it wasn't like that for a while. And I'm like, okay, no, give them a chance. Let's see where we can go with some of this. So we have a lot to look forward to.
This seems to be one of those like building block episodes, but next week's looks pretty stacked. You've got the women's North American title and the two number one contenders matches will have more of a clear direction of Great American Bash. So I'm quite looking forward to next week's show.
Yes, we shall see. We got a bunch going up there. I see in the chat, Big Time Baxter saying NXT ratings have taken a hit the last few weeks. So he's saying the show is feeling a little hit and miss. I would say like this week and last week's weren't the most exciting, but at least there's some direction, and that's definitely better than a one-off episode and then 3 months of just cold product, where at least they're moving things when things needed to be moved. So I'll give them the credit there, but we'll see. What do you see added to Great American Bash? Let's kind of end with that.
Okay, let's say the three-way for the men. Lola versus Kalani, Tatum Zaria again, maybe Myles v Tavion.
True. Right. Yeah. Cause that's definitely, they got to do the Tavion turn again on him. Maybe Vanity Project
and
OTM?
Then maybe that, and maybe Dion versus Saquon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's your 5-6 matches.
Yeah. Yeah. That probably sounds where it would go. The Great American Bash. Hey, maybe we'll review an old one this summer. We haven't done a Great American Bash
we haven't done one for a while, have we? Yeah.
Maybe we can ring up our pal, our WCW fan, Jesse from the Six. Maybe he'll want to talk about it. Booker T was talking about Vic said, aren't you Mr. Great American Bash? And he's like, please stop it. I guess should review one with him. I guess they're referring to, I think, 2006, where he beat Ray for the world title. But still, Great American Bash coming soon. That was what we thought about NXT. We do read your feedback if you choose to write in. We have a Facebook page, search Poison Rana, but you can also find the group where you can join and we post fun things and memes and share things. And I see we have one piece of feedback from Sean, who writes in. Good show overall tonight. I liked the movement towards the Great American Bash on all fronts, but ... Am I the only one not enjoying the Lola Vice Championship experience? She was awful in the promo tonight. Her promo, her reactions, it all feels so forced. I'm very much looking forward to the Kendall-Kalani rematch, and I hope one of them can take the title off of her at the Bash.
I don't disagree. I like Lola. I think there's always the difficulty in wrestling when the babyface eventually wins it. How do you keep that story interesting? Because the story's usually in the chase. I kind of think she won it at the wrong time as well. I felt maybe the time for her to win it was, when she was against Lola and had those great
or
prime
JC?
target against JC, had those great prime target videos with her dad and family and going around Little Cuba in Miami and all that stuff. I think she felt a hotter babyface then, and I felt the JC run at that point was at its highest. So I think you could have capitalized on it then. Whereas she does feel it feels like Kendall is the one who's eventually going to win this thing, and she does feel a little bit of a placeholder right now.
No, I do kind of agree. It does feel like you finished the story. You mentioned, I think her dad became a part of the character, and then he wasn't even there for the big win, and then he's not been seen. I'm like, that's like a little JJ with OTM. It's like, hey, we like the side character, the family members can really help you get over.
She won in the three-way, didn't she?
Yeah.
Right? Which again doesn't feel as big, especially JC having I know it was 2 reigns, but felt like a very long time as champion. To then lose it in a three-way just feels a little underwhelming.
Yeah, I like Lola, and I think there'll be a spot for her on the main roster, right? I think, imagine she did the, I know she even said in promos she's trying to get away from the former MMA, but I mean, it's in her arsenal, it's in her moveset, it's in everything, right? If you were to do WWE underground matches on the main roster, I feel like maybe people would get into that and what we've seen, but I know what you're saying, Sean, in your feedback there of once she's won it, now it's well, we just want to move on to other things, and it feels maybe a little forced. I know what you mean, but we still love Lola. We do still love Lola, but yeah. So there you go. Thank you, Sean, for writing in. Thank you, everyone, for listening here tonight. We do this every Tuesday night right after NXT, whether you watch it or not. We do, and then we talk about it right here at Post Wrestling. But if you want to hear more from us, search Poison Rana Pod in whatever podcast app you use, or go to Poisonrana.ca for links of everything that we do, including our Patreon. We are covering What's Next. We have multiple movie reviews. We recently went to New York for Double or Nothing, and we did a review of it on our free feed. But we checked out Dog Day Afternoon with John Bernthal, and we loved it so much that it inspired us to go back and watch the original movie, Al Pacino, Dog Day Afternoon, the bank heist. If you've never seen it, fantastic movie. Gives you a reason to go rewatch it or watch it for the first time like us. We did a review of it, talked all about Brooklyn on a hot day in the 70s. The true story, the play, the movie, everything. Plus, we've done some classic wrestling reviews, including Up Yours, Kayfabe, a wrestling mockumentary that's available for free on YouTube. You can watch it. Pretty funny. Our world champ friend, family member, David, picked it, and that was a pretty fun watch. It's like The Office, but indie wrestling. We did a best match ever Tanahashi, a best match ever Hulk Hogan. We've been all over the place. It's $5. Check us out, Poisonrana.ca and patreon.com/poisonrana.
And join us this Sunday. We'll be going live, I believe, 2 p.m. on Sunday, talking about AEW Dynamite, Raw, SmackDown. We've had the King of the Ring tournaments started already to see who will be facing the champions at SummerSlam. We're talking a bit about that, talking about the Owen and everything happening in AEW. And do yourself a favor while you're listening to us right now. go to youtube.com/@PoisonRanaPod. Like and subscribe. That's how you know when we're going live. Check out some of the shorts we put up there. And join us. Come join us.
Absolutely. We've been putting a lot more elbow grease into our YouTube and our Insta and stuff. So if you haven't checked us out, please do. A like and a follow goes a long way. And check out. We have tons of content, whether it's free or on the Patreon. We'll keep you entertained for those long drives, hot showers, whatever it is that you need us for. We got the wrestling content and movie reviews and so much more. I also got to shout out our friends at Demand Lucha. If you're in the Toronto area and you've not been to a Demand Lucha show, I don't know what you're doing. You are insane, because they put on the best indie wrestling lucha parties in the city. And I went to their last show, and our friend Big Tom, who's usually a security guard, got to do a spot in a match where he hit a choke slam on someone. I even posted this video a few weeks ago on our Insta, so you can go check it out. But they're doing a show in just a few weeks where it is a Rez versus Gringo in a ladder match.
Amazing.
June 11th, only in a few days here in Toronto. So if you're in the area, please go. These guys put on one hell of a show. I cannot wait. Wherever you are, support your indie wrestling. But if you are in Toronto, check out Demand Lucha. I will be there. It's going to be a blast. Ladder match, Gringo and El Clone. Come on, are you nuts? That's going to be crazy. So Demand Lucha, check them out as well. But there you go. That is it. That is all. Appreciate you listening if you made it this far. Peace and love to wherever you are. Take care. Goodbye and be safe.
Ahoy!